Hello, I'm back again to talk about, you guessed it, American domestic politics. Um, Now, what I want to talk about is this doesn't directly involve Trump. This is just involving the GOP or Republican Party. But even less so, it's more involved, and this is more about an individual or a culture of politics we have in this country. So I'm going to say it's a two-party thing, really. But you guys heard about the recent health episode with Mitch McConnell, right? And how he had effectively had a heart attack on June 14th of this year. And if you notice, he's been missing in action. You haven't seen him. Well, there's a reason for that. Because the heart attack he had was serious. And we forget, he's like 84 years old. He's obviously not equipped to run for re-election, which he's not. I honestly think he's sick enough he should already resign. He should not be sitting in the Senate serving out his full term. But here we are. That's what most of these senators do, 101. Let's just be honest. Dianne Feinstein stayed in office until she died. You got Chuck Grassley, another one on his way out. He's still in the Senate. You got Mitch McConnell. He's still in the Senate. He decided not to run for re-election. Finally. You got obviously Donald Trump, who's falling apart in front of us every day, who's sitting in the White House. You had Joe Biden carry on to the very end. We've seen this on, and we watched how the political elite would cover for these politicians just to keep them in office. These people will sit in office until they die. Like, think about the ridiculousness of this. And our country's culture, along with the two-party political class, acts like we owe these incumbents something. Like we should be honoring these people and we should keep them in office until their dying day. So therefore they're going to protect the incumbency of that person's seat. This is ridiculous. These seats aren't owed to anybody. Nobody owns a seat. Okay? And the reality is, if your time's up, you served your time, you've already got what you wanted in life. Y'all got rich off the hog. Okay? You guys sat in office for 50 years. How much longer do you need? Okay? Y'all need to retire. We're over it. So, that's why I believe in term limits personally. Because this has got to stop. But think about how suspicious with the episode with Mitch McConnell. They put out a brief letter, a press letter, saying he should be back shortly to do votes in the Senate. He's still got work to do. Now, another story came out recently saying that he's in a coma, so he can't come back to the Senate and vote. Then they claim he's going to remote voting from home, but he's not even equipped to do that. The doctors that dealt with him come out and said he lost his bodily functions. He's not functioning at all. He's technically dead. If they pulled the plug tomorrow, he would pass. And they kept this quiet all this time, thinking that nobody was going to figure it out. So, with all we know, he could not be alive right now, and they could be lying to us. And this is all probably the doing of his wife, Elaine Chao. And she's basically holding up his legacy and being his seat warmer, doing her own bidding for her own enrichment. So, isn't it ironic after he had a heart attack, 8 days later, she decided to go to China to visit with the vice president of China, Han Xing? Think about it for a second. For the Republic of China. She's not serving any administrative role. She's not in office anymore. She's not working as a secretary, transportation of secretary. She's not secretary of state. She serves no role in any administration. She's doing this for her own self-interest. So she leaves after her husband has a heart attack. Somehow we're supposed to believe he's at home, at his bedside, voting remotely and she's taking care of him, but yet she's leaving town and he's alive. Doesn't make sense, does it? This is what the elite do on a regular basis. There's another situation similar where there's a congressman in New Jersey who just came back from hiding, and he was sick in remission for a long time, barely lagging on, running for re-election for his seat. Okay. And he just returned back to the spotlight, and he's been gone all this time. These people should resign. There is no reason why you're still sitting in Congress. You're old, you're sick, and you're dying. You already made your millions of dollars. Go away. It's time for a new generation of leadership. I'm sorry. And if this insults some people, I don't care. It's fact. Okay? Now, do I believe we should be a country and a culture of respecting our elders? Absolutely. Treat elders with respect. I don't want you to denigrate people because they're old. I don't want you to tell them. But the bottom line is, when they're serving a role to make the most important decisions for our country, and they're not equipped to do so, they shouldn't be doing so. Especially if they're no longer healthy and functional to do it anymore. I mean, let's be real here. So, again, this is what the elite does best. They cover for these flailing politicians, because for some reason they feel there's some kind of legacy or power structure they got to uphold. Now, I suspect the reason why Mitch McConnell is not retiring, is retiring at the end of his term, instead of resigning now, is they're holding that seat to elect a person that they want to elect to do their bidding. Because as the race looks right now, their chosen person is in the wings right now to win the Republican primary to run for Mitch McConnell's old seat, which is, of course, of the Republican corrupt establishment. And the Democrats already picked their candidate. It's Charles Booker, the progressive candidate. But I'm going to be honest, he's not going to win Kentucky. It is Kentucky. They will not vote for a progressive, yet alone a black progressive. We already know the history of Kentucky. It's just reality. But there is one guy that could run and win. And the Republican Party does not like him anymore. They spent millions of dollars to get him out of Congress, and that is Thomas Massie. Because he actually could win Kentucky. And he would overturn their apple cart. Because even though he's a Republican, he's not doing their bidding. He's voting from his own wing of principles. He fought to release the Epstein files. He exposed corruption. He voted to end the wars. Okay? And like I said, the of the elite and powerful, neither party wants anybody in Congress that's going to overturn the apple carts or fight the elite or speak truth to power. Neither party wants this. Okay? I don't care how conservative or progressive their voting record is. Neither of the party elite want anybody in power that's willing to speak one iota of truth against this corrupt system. And that's why I predict he's not retiring right now. He's waiting till the end of his term. So, yeah, that's my guess right there. Anyways, y'all, to be continued. You have a great, wonderful, beautiful night. It is a wonderful one out here in Las Vegas. I'll see y'all later. You have a lovely night. Goodbye.